What's up, guys? This is Based on Cinema once again, here to review the 2024 movie Abigail. I'm Jacob.
I'm Nick.
And Abigail 2024. After a group of criminals kidnap the ballerina daughter of a powerful underworld figure, they retreat to an isolated mansion, unaware that they're locked inside with no normal girl. This movie sucked.
Wait, you say unlocked inside of No Normal Girl?
That they're locked inside with no normal girl.
Oh, okay. I don't know if it cut out on my end. I was like, hold up. Um, so as you heard, Jacob feels how he felt. I'm gonna say I don't think it sucked per se. I just think they didn't make the strongest choices with the story. Um, but I had a good time. Had a good time overall.
I had a good time, but it got progressively worse for me. The movie progressively got less enjoyable, and it should not have been an hour and 50 minutes. Um, I watched this a little bit ago. I think I watched it about a week ago, a week and a half ago. Nick just finished it. Was it yesterday?
Last night, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, let's go into it a little bit here. The director is Matt Bettinelli Olfen. The man is known for Scream from 2022, Scream 6. He made Ready or Not, which was in 2019. This has a couple up and coming. Stereo Vision. It's a short. Okay. And then he has a new horror anthology in production right now, which is, you don't hear, other than like VHS and stuff like that.
You don't really hear about him like
No,
mainstream like that.
no, you have your typical Halloween and stuff like that, but like in terms of that's been around for so long. Um,
Yeah.
Actually, I'm tripping. He did VHS. He did Radio Silence in segment 103198. Wait, so he's actually done some stuff. He's done a few movies. He did a bit in VHS. He did Devil's Due. He did Southbound. We talked about him last movie. We talked about him during VHS 85. So Matt Bettinelli Olpen was a part of VHS, and if you guys haven't checked out our VHS 85 review, go check it out. Pretty solid movie. So he did obviously Abigail. He did Scream 6, Scream 2022. He did Ready or Not in 2019. He did Southbound. And Southbound actually, it says segments. It says the way in, the way out. So I wonder if it's kind of like a VHS thing. I'm not quite sure.
The IMDb or
Yeah, I'm on IMDb.
are you looking for films and shows or just films?
I'm just what he directed. So he did five. Yeah. So
Mm.
Southbound is 5 interlocking tales of terror. Follow the fates of a group of weary travelers who confront their worst nightmares and darkest secrets over one long night on a desolate stretch. I mean, that sounds cool. Southbound sounds like a VHS kind of thing, but like not found footage. Or it might be. It
Yeah,
might be. It might be found footage.
I hope it's found footage.
It doesn't look like it.
Um,
I'm looking at some screen grabs here.
Scream and Scream 6 were pretty solid films, I'd say. They're pretty decent. A
I
lot
think
of
I think after
callbacks
like the
to the
second to last one,
originals.
they do
After
call
they're
back.
like pretty good callbacks to the original, like in terms of like pacing and just how they carry the story for those, I'd say.
Right.
Pretty decent, pretty solid. The second one that he did, Stream 6, little hard, a little bit of a fall off towards the end of that for the plot and story of that. Just felt a little cluttered, a little like rushed.
Is that when
But
they
I
went to that like abandoned building and it had all the memorabilia?
yeah,
Yeah.
had all like fucking bunch
I
of
was
killers.
yeah, I was watching that and I'm like,
We saw it together.
yeah. I'm saying I was watching that and like I was thinking like it's like how many more could they do? Like
They're milk it.
how many more of these, like how many more twists can you come up with? Like
The
eventually
number one,
eventually Cindy's just going to be the killer and that's going to be the last movie and
yeah.
it's going to be horrible.
That's
It's
what
going to be horrible.
that's what people have been saying. They're saying like, oh, we just make her at this point. Like, all the trauma, just messed her up, and she becomes it. But there's some people are wanting to do it like, oh, Ghostface in the snow because we've seen him like through the summertime and all that stuff. Let's put him in the wintertime.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah,
See
like
see
put
how
him in
that
like
looks.
like a
Yeah.
log cabin or something.
Hell yeah.
Like he's
So
yeah, that'd be cool.
Ghostface in space.
So he did. So he actually did a VHS installment from the original VHS.
Yeah.
That installment was called Radio Silence because all of them had
Um,
all the shorts in the VHS series have different names.
which one was that? Which VSS?
Uh, the
The
first
first
one,
one?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then he did one for the '90s, the VHS '98. He did
Oh, 90.
he did one called 10/31/98. It's just the date of when it was based in.
Mm,
It doesn't have an actual like name with words. It's just the date. So
got
he really hasn't done too much. He's done a bunch of shorts during 2010s. During the 2000s, the same thing.
Still
Um,
getting his footing.
yeah.
Still like finding his legs.
I think he's really old. I think he's 46.
Shit.
So if you
Maybe he's
think
not
about
finding his
it,
legs.
well, if you think about it, and like all the really good directors that are out right now are a little older. I feel like.
Yeah.
I
No
mean,
one's
not
up there. He's not
no,
too
well, no
old.
one's up there. Like you have like he was part of like the newer age directors in like the late '90s, early 2000s. I feel like.
Who,
Like
Nolan?
yeah,
Yeah, he's definitely in the early 2000s. Like with
right.
Batman Begins 2005, I think.
And when he was
Following
doing
was like a little earlier.
right, and I think during that time, he was still starting. He was doing shorts.
Yeah.
I think Christopher Nolan was one of those. I mean, you had a bunch of guys, but
Yeah. This guy
you
could be up there with like probably Fede Alvarez and Scott Derrickson, probably.
right.
Because he's done like two Scream movies. That puts you pretty. And in a VHS, the first film.
Mm-hmm.
This
Uh,
film,
oh,
I
what
think,
what was his
puts him
first
in.
film? Is what you asked?
No, no, no. I'm just saying like
Oh, okay.
the films that he's done so far. Yeah.
I got you.
This
Go
I
ahead.
think he would be put up there with Fede Alvarez, the guy who did Evil Dead the remake, and now he's doing Alien Romulus, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I feel like that's like where he fits in with that league of directors, like Robert Eggers type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not the same par as Robert Eggers, but that same new age horror lineup of directors.
Right. Real quick, I forgot to turn on the full screen. Is it easy to crop this out? You think, in DaVinci?
And what do you still have the sidebar on it and
Yeah.
stuff? Yeah, you could crop it out.
Okay.
Yeah, you should be able to crop it out.
All right. Cool. Um. So yeah, let's talk about some of the people who are in this movie. Talk a little bit about the director. I mean, it's really interesting how he kind of took up, the Scream movies. After Southbound, because Southbound was like 2015, and he did one.
Yeah,
He did one segment in it.
yeah. I feel like
Um.
at this point they're trying to hand the reins over to whoever's willing to take it.
Yeah.
You know,
Perhaps. Yeah.
because Scream 4, I don't know if you remember Scream 4 at all. That movie, I think Wes did it. I think Wes Craven did it. It was his last one.
I think you're
And
right. I think you're right.
the person who was the DP, I think they just put like a fucking like filter over the whole movie to just
Really?
made it very like, yeah, if you watch it back now, it has like this halation, which is like
Mm-hmm.
that glow around everything. Everybody and everything. It just looks really weird, the whole movie. It's like a reddish kind of filter too.
Interesting.
But aside from that, it's a pretty solid movie. Like it's not the most beloved by fans, but because of the choices he decided to go with for that story.
Right.
But looking back on it, it's definitely a little bit better than it's definitely a tad better than Scream and then Scream 6. Because
Yeah. I mean,
Scream and Scream 6 are just trying to use what they like what's already been done to re-innovate things and.
it's pretty much a cash grab. I mean,
Scream 7's gonna be a cash grab, dude.
yeah, like that's the thing. You have all these new horror movies. The Halloween trilogy was such a letdown, and then they announced that they were doing the Exorcist trilogy, and man, was that first movie bad. That
Speaking of that, speaking of that, the guy who's done Haunting of Hill House,
Mm-hmm.
the other show that's in that universe, and then the what's that one with the church called on Netflix? I'm blanking.
I'm not sure.
It's like that cult church, that scary church movie, that show, the limited series. It's like Hill House. I forgot. But
Oh,
the director and creator of all those is was just given the key to the city for Exorcist the rest of the trilogy. So he's doing the next installment. And this guy is known for making fantastic suspense, fucking goosebump, bone-chilling horror. So we're in for some seriously good stuff. It's not gonna be related to the first one at all, which is gonna throw people off who
that's
aren't
good.
like aware of this. But dude, we're in for some quality Exorcist material with this guy.
I'm fine with that. Like if you
'Cause-
tell me that first movie is not going to be a part of what he's doing, then I'm fine with
Mhm.
that. It's gonna be like they're probably gonna shoot that, and then it's gonna be something like, well, yeah, like this happened in this town. And,
Yeah.
like, did you remember what happened last year? It's just gonna be like a little snippet
Dude,
of what, you know what I mean?
be like, oh look, that's a shame that happened in that town. Move on.
Yes, that's what has to happen. Because
But
that
literally, dude,
movie, man, that first
so
half was
bad.
so promising. The
It
first
was.
half felt like in The
Felt like
Exorcist
a
you had those
genuine.
when in The Exorcist, like when you first heard Tubular Bells in the theme, you
Hmm.
had the beautiful shots of Massachusetts. No, was it Virginia?
Hmm.
Virginia.
It was
And
her walking on the sidewalk
her walking
too,
on the
showing like.
sidewalk, the nuns. Like I think that when the nuns are walking
Mhm.
by and the wind blows in the sun, it's gotta be like one of my favorite shots ever. I
Yeah,
don't know why it just hits every time I see it,
dude,
but
it's cinema,
cinematography in that was fantastic.
as
Exorcist,
Martin Scorsese
that's like
says.
probably my favorite horror movie of all
Cinema.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's the
I
greatest horror movie of
honestly,
all time, in my
it
opinion.
is definitely up there as one of the greatest horror movies of all time. I
Yeah,
agree with you. For you, it is. For most, definitely top three.
3.
Yeah,
I know
but
for you it's Halloween.
Halloween's mine and wrong. I'm guilty. But
Yeah,
honestly, dude, I like if you ever get a chance, like just rewatch like an episode or two of one of those shows. Midnight Mass, Haunting of Hill House, and there's like a third haunting show. Just look up Mike Flanagan.
yeah.
Look
I
at his
know.
work.
I've heard of Midnight Mass. I've watched Hill House. Hill House is good. I liked it.
He is one of the most promising horror directors coming out right now.
Hmm.
I think he's severely underrated. Like people who know his work are be like, "Fuck yeah," but like he's not talked about like that. So the thing that the studio did wrong with The Exorcist is they're like, "Oh, David Gordon Green, he made so much money with Halloween. He knows what he's doing with horror." Dude doesn't know what he was doing
It's
at
horrible.
all, and
David
they're like,
Gordon
"Oh,
Green
here."
did the Halloween movies and the New Exorcist movie, and if how have they not learned their lesson?
No, that's the thing. It was right before the Exorcist movie came out, before they even started talking about it. He finished all the Halloween movies. They're like, "Oh, here, David Gordon Green. Here's the key to the Exorcist kingdom. We're gonna let you play around in there because you did so good with your Halloween movies,
I feel
and we
like the
have complete faith."
elites. I feel like the elites like ruin these films and like ruin these like anthologies because they want to make us like all depressed and like, people. It's yeah, whatever. Honestly, I just
Yeah,
want. Let's move on. Let's go back to the
let's
damn
move
movie.
on.
All right.
But yeah, so we're in good hands now, though.
Yeah.
And
Alicia
on that note,
Weir. Alicia Weir plays Abigail. Did it say when she was born? Where's her birthday here?
I don't know, but she
I
is a
IMDb's
little
got to
demon.
fix her stuff. All right, but listen, she was my favorite part of the film.
She was great.
She was
She's
She was
phenomenal.
great. She did a really good job. Like
I
it wasn't like wasn't overpronounced. It wasn't overacted. If
Nope.
anything was directed well, it was her
She did
character.
very well, dude. I was like, there
Yeah.
was moments where I'm like, dude, this is actually like a grown woman playing a child. Like, it's like that Robert Downey Jr. I'm just a dude dressed as a dude playing another dude or something like that.
Right.
That's what it felt like watching her character because I'm like, dude, she's a kid. I believe it. Like, honestly, like, genuinely, because she is a child, she's fucking selling that. And then, like, as soon as she, you know, centuries old, I'm like, dude, I'm buying this.
Right.
I believe this is like a ancient person who's sick of everything, just wants to fucking have some fun.
Yeah. Because like I
Do
think
whatever.
as like a vampire who's a child, I do think there is a level to it where they still have a childlike mind.
Yeah.
You know, it is bastardized by this, you know, because if you think about like what zombies are, what werewolves are, what's, you know, vampires are, it's all like kind of like a evil virus in a sense that contaminates your entire being.
Yeah.
And you know, it makes sense why she could possibly kind of still have this childlike essence to her.
Yeah.
But like
Which does
you could just,
show.
it does show, right? But that's why she's like playing with her food,
Yeah.
you know, as they say in the
Yeah.
film.
Yeah.
And she did great. Her acting was great.
Phenomenal.
Whenever she like spoke, I was in on it. Like it made me listen.
You paid extra attention because you're like, oh shit, this is some serious shit.
And plus, she was like one of the only good things about the movie.
Yeah.
It just kept downgrading and downgrading and downgrading. Like, why was this 2 hours? I don't know. It was an hour and 50 minutes to be exact. But, jeez. I mean, she was in some stuff as a child actress. But
She shined
nothing,
in this.
nothing
She
really.
shined in this.
Yeah. Yeah, William Catlett. He was one of the first to die. There's like not a lot of notable people here. I mean, you have Catherine Newton, and
She's great.
she was in
She's
Ant-Man
good.
and the Wasp. She was in
She's
Pokemon
decent in that.
Pikachu, Freaky, the show called
Freaky
The
was good.
Society. She was in Supernatural. She was Claire.
Yep. Good as
So
Claire.
we love Supernatural. She was in Lady Bird.
Love Supernatural. Lady
Uh,
Bird was good. I don't remember her in it.
Paranormal Activity 4. She played the sister. Remember that? She was like
Oh
the
yeah,
one of the
yeah.
leads in Paranormal 4. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
She was
Good
in
shit.
Bad Teacher. Yeah.
No, she was in something else recently that I watched. I don't remember. She was in some Frankenstein movie that she did. I didn't get to see it though.
Lisa Frankenstein.
I need to watch that. Apparently, it's really good. It's underrated.
Okay.
Um, I think she did pretty well for herself in this movie. Like she sold that part. Like not in a bad way. Like she sold, but like I'm watching. I'm like, oh yeah, this is some fucking kid who's in over their head, doesn't know any better, and just thinks they could do whatever they want and make it all better at the end. And like in my head, I'm like, that's not how this plays out for anybody,
Yeah.
ever.
I think for the most part, her part was pretty solid. I feel like it was
Yeah.
kind of loose. Like for me, it was right on the border of like not working and working. It kind of kept going like this
Yeah.
for me. But I think for the most part, what her character was, it worked, and she did fine.
Yeah, she did. She did pretty good.
I just feel like a lot of the writing sucked, and
Her writing wasn't strong.
a lot of her lines was just cringe, and the whole thing with the garlic, like
Yeah.
Kevin
I think
Durand. Go ahead, no, you go ahead. You go
they
ahead.
did the best. They did the best they could with what they were given.
No, literally, that's just how it is sometimes.
No, literally.
Kevin Durand, he played the dumb guy, like the best way to
The
explain
muscle.
it. The muscle, yeah. They always criticize his intelligence. He was in X-Men
Yeah.
Origins Wolverine. He was in Robin Hood with Russell Crowe. He really hasn't done a lot.
He did the Planet of the Apes recently. He was um King Ape of that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh cool. All right.
I forgot what his name was in the movie because
I haven't
his
seen that.
character's like so good. So
I've
good.
been meaning to rewatch them because I didn't see the last two.
Me
Uh,
and Tiff binge watched all of them,
nice.
and then we watched that one in theaters, and it was great, dude.
That's
So
probably what I'm
good.
gonna do. That's why I watched like all the Transformers, and then I watched all of the Alien movies. I did
Nice.
all of them in like no time.
Nice, dude.
He was in he was in Vikings the show. He was in Noah. I did not like that movie.
Is that what Russell Crowe?
Yeah,
Uh,
he was in
mm,
Fruitful Station with what's his damn name? Creed.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. Thank you.
You're welcome.
He was a real steal.
Nice.
So he's been in some
He's
stuff. Like he's been in some stuff
he's
that's
underrated.
yeah,
He's a very talented man. Very talented man.
yeah. Angus Cloud, rest in peace. He passed
Rest in
away
peace.
during the production of this movie. It's sad because I wish his character lasted.
Dude,
It only
for
lasted
his
like
last role,
30 minutes.
it was such a shit way to
But
go.
he did like him in that part. It was fine. Like he,
Yeah, he
you
killed
know,
it. He did
yeah,
great. Yeah. He played the fuck out of that part. Like, respect.
yeah. He was respectfully he did great, and he was in Euphoria. No comment.
In Euphoria. He's in Euphoria. Yeah. Okay, moving on.
Moving on. But yeah, he really wasn't in. I mean, that's what he's known for. He's really known for
Yeah.
Euphoria.
He was
Well,
great in that show, mind you. He acted the fuck out of his role in that show.
and my sister saw. We all watched this movie together as a family, and she's like, "Oh, he's from the Euphoria." I'm like, "Whatever." Giancarlo Esposito, come on, guy's a legend.
Very brief for this film, but he delivered his best Pollos Locos, and Gus, he did his best Gus.
Did his best
He
vampire.
killed it. Yeah, because you Breaking Bad,
Yeah, of course.
his character Gus, that he
Yeah,
brought him back for this, did it really well. He just plays that guy from all
passes
like
that.
every
Yeah.
he just plays that guy for
It's like
everything
certain
now.
guys just have like certain roles that are. It's
It's
like the
not
same thing
his
over and
fault.
over again. You know, I know.
It's like Ryan Reynolds playing Ryan Reynolds and everything. But it's not his fault. It's the fucking people who are like his agent and the casting directors. They're like, oh yeah, just do what you did in Breaking Bad. That's what we want. This guy has range, dude. If
I
you've
know.
seen Do the Right Thing, range out the fucking window.
This guy's in a
Like
lot of different things, man.
he did great. He was great in this movie for the short amount of time he was in it.
I agree.
The very short amount of time he was in it.
Yep. Maxine. He was in Maxine. That too.
Yeah.
Have you seen Maxine yet?
I have not. It's killing me.
Yeah, you gotta watch it and we'll review it. He was in The Boys. He's in
Oh, he's so good in The Boys. You gotta watch The Boys, dude. You're hated, but I love it.
I can't do it. He's in Megalopolis by Francis Ford Coppola. I am
that movie's kinda
looking
good.
forward to that movie. I'm not even watching trailers for that movie because it's Francis. So he made the greatest.
He's got a whole thing going on right now with him, Francis.
Yeah.
He's got a whole scandal going on right now with him.
Oh really?
Yeah, because on set of Megalopolis, I think I said it right. He was like basically forcing himself on extras, female extras,
Oh.
and he literally announced it like, "Hey, if I come up to you and I start kissing you, I'm just doing it for myself pleasure, okay?" And then there's literally footage of him walking around on set, just starting kissing and straight up going up to female extras and stuff.
Hmm.
And like that's right before this movie comes out.
If it's in a sexual way, that's messed up. But you can have very over-lovable people who don't know boundaries, and it's a little bit more forgivable. But you got come on, it's 2024. You got to be careful. People are. You just got.
It's just
be smart.
It's like he's a grown elderly man who should know like boundaries.
Yeah. He's also during
So,
that
like-
old time of filmmaking where like actors and actresses and directors and the crew were more comfortable and like literally more physical with each other.
Yeah,
You know?
the fact he just announced it too, because he probably announced it. It's like, oh, this is just something I should announce because it's normal for my time, but not this time.
Yeah.
Like, not to make excuses or defend anything, but we're still like we don't know all the details for that. We don't know anything surrounding that. All we know is that he did those things. It was caught on camera, and he's in a little hot water for it. Probably a lot of hot
Reasonably.
water, reasonably. And until we know what's seriously going on with that right now we're just saying it could just be because he's an old timer and doesn't know any better. But for his age, he should.
And also, if you're somebody in Hollywood for a long time, you're very likely to be, I guess,
A little touchy-feely.
Yeah. Best way
Little
to put it.
Weinsteiny. Little
Yeah.
Weinsteiny.
Yeah, little Weinsteiny. Yep.
Little Weinsteiny.
Little
Fuck
Epsteiny.
Weinstein. Or ooh. We weren't there.
Yeah, we're there. He's in The Boys, Megalopolis, The Gentleman, the show actually. Sorry, The Gentleman, the show. He played Lex Luthor in Harley Quinn, the TV series. Did you know that?
He did?
He played Lex Luthor in the Harley Quinn TV series, which I'll never watch. But he played Lex Luthor.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
This is
Yeah.
Giancarlo
Huh?
Esposito? Who is this?
Yeah, Esposito. Yeah, Esposito.
Damn, dude, that's
Yeah.
insane. I didn't realize that because I
Mm-hmm.
literally started watching the spin-off for that show, Kite Man, and Lex Luthor is in it, and I did not recognize the voice at all.
Well, what's it called?
The spin-off for Harley Quinn is called Kite Man.
I'm not seeing that right now, but if I come by it, then I'll let you know. But I don't see him playing Lex Luthor in that, but he played it in Harley Quinn. If I were to imagine his voice, I could see it.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Oh, dude, that would have been such a great casting him as Lex.
Dude,
But it would have.
if they did him as Lex, I low key wouldn't be too angry. The only reason why I would be a little upset is because he's much older.
Yeah, he's like an aged Lex at that point.
Yeah, a lot of people feel the sense of, you shouldn't have people who aren't white play somebody who's white and vice versa. But why it would work is because you have all these new movies, especially the new DC universe happening, and it's a different universe, so it could work.
And in the 90s animated Superman show, his race was ambiguous. It was kind of like up for debate because his character was always darker skinned than Superman. Even Superman himself, if you look at the show and you watch the
Yeah,
episodes,
he's like more
there's scenes where
peachy or
he is a
something.
more like tannish
Yeah,
skin
yeah,
color, more of a
like
more of a
biracial maybe.
richer color. Yeah. So like even Superman and Lex in that show, you couldn't even tell what they actually were. It wasn't
Yeah,
until Justice League animated series or the Ultimate Unlimited animated series where you could kind of distinguish what they were because they were like limited to what they were able to do at that time.
I see.
So Superman, he looked more white in Justice League as opposed to his 90s original solo show, but
Yeah.
Lex Luthor still kind of looked a little bit more on the darker side of
No, yeah,
things,
like
which
kind of
is
like a very light skin,
biracial. Yeah, like a
biracial. Yeah, yeah,
light skin, yeah. So like it works either way. If they want to cast somebody who's light skin or like any skin color at that point, go for it. Just
it
make
would
sure they
work.
feel the part.
Yeah,
As long as they feel the part.
yeah, I'm at the point now with this stuff where it's like it's a different universe and it could work. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's just Star
Yeah.
Wars and DC and they've done a lot to its fans. So at this point, I'm just like, well, whatever comes out, I'll watch it and I'll give an opinion. So screw it,
Dude, well, wait, hold up. Before we go any further, speaking of DC and Star Wars and stuff like that,
We're
before we
talking
go
about
any further,
Abigail.
I'm stopping you. I'm stopping you. Before we go any farther, what did you think of the Calvarine?
Awesome,
Dude,
phenomenal,
Deadpool's reaction to him?
phenomenal, phenomenal. That's it. It's phenomenal.
On
It's
behalf
probably
of all
like
humanity,
my favorite part. My favorite part of the movie.
that was the best part of the
We're not gonna
on
do
behalf
you dirty like those fucks down the street. I think
Yeah.
that's what he said.
like those fuck sticks or those shit sticks or fuck
Yeah,
sticks
yeah,
down the
yeah.
will do so much better. On behalf of all humanity, this just feels right.
Yeah, exactly. It was great. It was great.
Dude, that was he did the fucking arm
He did the
reload.
arm thing, yeah. I love,
Oh,
it was
dude.
great about the movie. We're not talking about this, but, just another note, and then we'll go back to Abigail because we're talking about Abigail. It's
Yep.
been like 10, 15 minutes at this point. Sorry to
Yep.
everybody watching who wants to, hear Abigail. It's just, but, comic accurate Wolverine, that was hilarious.
Dude, that was sick.
I'm really happy they did that. I'm really happy they did that.
What was your reaction when you saw like the cow come down?
Oh, it was sick. It was awesome. My first reaction was like, well, it would have been more noticeable on the back of his suit, but
Yeah.
that was my only thought. But it was sick. Like he looked great. The suit and everything was spot on. It was perfect. It was perfect.
It was so
Him
good.
fighting in it was phenomenal. And there was that one scene when the CGI was purposely bad and like Deadpool made a joke on it, and he's like standing there like huffing and puffing. Even though that look was supposed to look bad, it still looked dope.
It still looked dope. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So Breaking Bad, obviously he's in Breaking Bad. Man was in a lot. All right, he's very
In a lot.
respectable. Yeah.
Very long history of cinema.
Yeah. I think the only other person I really want to talk about is Where is she?
Melissa Barrera.
Yeah, she's in Scream, right? Is that who I'm thinking?
The
Yeah,
Scream
Melissa Barrera.
movies.
Yeah, she was in the Scream movies.
She did another movie that I recommended to your sister.
In the Heights,
It's a
she's
horror
in the
movie.
Heights. Yeah, I mean she's decently new as well.
She's a
Um,
newcomer to the scene, yeah. She did some, I think some TV work as well,
yeah.
but it's nothing
So let's get
that
into
I'm
some
familiar with.
fun facts, and then we'll just rip it. So some fun facts that we
Mr.
have here.
Barrera,
So
have fun
obviously,
fact.
rest in peace, one of Angus Cloud's final roles before he passed away in July 2023. Although production wasn't completed until months after his death due to the SAG-AFTRA strike, Cloud had filmed all of his scenes before production was shut down. He had signed an autograph, which was the Cloud drawing scene above the dedication at the end of the movie, for a crew member during
Mm.
his time on set, and Melissa Barrera had it printed on T-shirts for the cast and crew.
Oh,
It's
dude,
nice.
she's a real one. She's a
Hmm.
real one, dude. Um, Fun fact: Melissa Barrera was let go from Scream 7 because she supported the ceasefire of Palestine, the genocide going on there.
Yeah.
Um,
Fun fact.
the Spyglass, is it Spyglass?
No,
Company that owns
no
the
idea.
rights to, I think it's Spyglass, the company that owns the rights to the Scream series right now. They let her go due to that for her posting about like raising awareness and trying to get people to stop it and call like politicians and stuff. They let her go do that. If ended on a good note though, because they did wrap up her character and Jenna Ortega's character very well in the last film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just a little thing right there.
The new Scream movie's gonna suck.
Yep.
All right, the directors were so impressed by Alicia Weir's dancing that they added more dance sequences to the film.
I think I know where they added them.
Yeah, right. When she was like
Yeah.
fighting here and there.
Yeah.
So listen to this.
Cool.
The abductors are given pseudonyms by the coordinator, Lambert, so they don't know each other's real names in case one gets caught. These names are taken from the Rat Pack.
Hmm.
If you don't know the Rat Pack, it's the group of celebrities in the 60s: Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., Peter Lawford, Joey Bishop, Don Rickles. And that's just like a group in the 60s called the Rat Pack. And that's where they took the names from, which is cool.
Yeah.
There's a crest visible in a few shots, and it heavily resembles the Dracula crest from some of the old Universal movies, so that's cool. A
Hmm.
lot of Dracula stuff, and as I keep going here, you'll notice what I'm saying. It was filmed under the working title Dracula's Daughter.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad they didn't go with it, though.
Yeah, I mean, me too.
Yeah. Abigail is a Hebrew name for my father's joy. Fun fact.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Wow.
It's kind of ironic because, she loses her father's love and all that and wants it back and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And the movie was filmed in two parts as a result of the SAG strike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it started on May 15th, 2023 and wrapped in July 2023. The second block of filming began in November to December. And it's also a loose remake of Dracula's Daughter, and Dracula's Daughter is the very old movie from 1936. So it's a very loose remake.
Yeah.
Guess how many times they use the word fuck?
139.
Double that. 224.
Oh, dude.
That's crazy.
That's insane. 139, I think, was Deadpool and Wolverine.
The fact that this has more
That's
F-bombs
insane.
is insane, and it proves how bad the writing was.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
That's
Um,
like
this is the
some
third.
movies
Go ahead.
justified. This
Yeah,
movie,
yeah, no,
nah, no.
you don't gotta flare in F-bombs to make it more interesting. This is the third of 4 Universal Pictures based on Bram Stoker's Dracula to be released in 2 years. The other ones were Renfield, The Last Voyager of the Demeter, which I liked. That was a good movie.
I think I watched
And
both those though.
Renfield was whatever. Last Voyage of the Demeter was good, and Nosferatu, which is coming out this year, hyped for that movie.
Mm-hmm.
We will be reviewing that 1,000%. And yeah, the last thing I will say when Frank says, "All right, let's kill us a fucking vampire," it is a nod to George Clooney's quote as Seth in From Dusk Till Dawn when he says, "All right, let's go kill some fucking vampires." So it's a nod to that,
Nice.
which is cool.
That's pretty dope.
That's all I got for trivia. Little fun facts. And Nick, so I want you to start this off, bud.
All right, so to start us off, we're introduced to everybody in the crew in a, especially we were introduced with Melissa Barrera first, waiting in the alleyway to get picked up for the job. That none of them have any idea who it's being done to, what it's entailing until they get to the spot to do it. That's when we meet all of our characters, the Rat Pack, and we're taken into the world with them for a 24-hour heist, kidnapping, essentially,
It's
or
like a
ransom,
kidnapping. Yeah, yeah,
kidnapping
kidnapping. Yes,
ransom,
yes.
and it it's not a strong start, I'll say, because the characters they're supposed to be like, oh, introduced to us, and we're just like, oh, these guys are relatable, cool, but some of them just come off like annoying, and you're just like, okay, let's get to the meat. Let's get to the meat. I'm on the bone. Let's get to the meat.
Yeah.
And it's not until we get to the house, where they're supposed to be staying for 24 hours after they had kidnapped Abigail at this point, where we finally start getting to know the characters, start actually seeing which ones we like, which ones we care for, and who we want to see survive till the end. Right off the bat, Abigail doesn't even need to do anything. She's already likable. She's fucking kidnapped. She's
She's
a
great.
kid. She's selling it, and everybody else, the crew, they're trying to fucking one up each other with some, oh, I know how to read you. Oh, no, you don't, because you're just a junkie. And it's like, y'all are not likable. You're just shitty people.
Like I understand what
And
they're going for.
it's not until like people start dying and there's imminent danger to their lives where you start slightly caring about each person. Melissa Barrera's character, I think, is the one the easiest one to get like actually care for, is because they make her the most like understanding. They give us the most backstory with her.
They give
She
her the
has a
most
son.
like emotional intelligence. You know.
Yeah, she has a whole story that is literally told throughout the film. She had an addiction problem. She left her son with a fucked up father because she didn't think she could be a good mother. And every time she wants to go back to him, she can't because she's afraid. And in the end, that gets resolved. But aside from that, she's the only one with enough details for us to genuinely like her character. Catherine Newton's character, Sammy, I think it was, she's likable, but she's
But they
just
didn't
there.
give her anything.
She's just there. Like it's like, oh, something bad happened to her. Well, all right. Um,
Most impactful
Frank,
thing with her was like when she fell into the pile of bodies in the pool. Like that's it.
yeah, and that's the only time when you're kind of like, oh no. Do some of the characters have like redeeming
Oh
qualities
no.
at times? Do some of the characters have some redeeming qualities at times? Kinda. But then they immediately do something else that just makes them hated it again. You don't like them anymore at that point. You're just like, oh, I was starting to like you. Then you did this. For example, the muscle. I think his name is forgot his character name for this. That's another reason. I can't even remember the characters' names.
I'll
I literally
find it
watched it
here.
last night. Literally watched it last night. Um, the muscle. Um,
Well, he's actually not directly on the. Oh, here he is, Peter.
Peter, the muscle character. He lived up to what the shit talking was for around him, not the intelligent one of the group. He kept doing things that would contradict the situation in the room, like read the room kind of situations. He would do the exact opposite, or he would do what he thought was best, and it would be wrong.
And they didn't even do it in like a funny way.
He
It
just
was it
stupid.
was kind of sad.
It was really sad.
Like it
It's
was
just
just
not
sad. Like it there was what do you I don't know what they're trying to do. Are they trying to make us feel for him and are they trying to make us laugh at him or both?
the
I mean,
only one
if it's
aside
both then
from Melissa
whatever,
Barrera.
you know.
Yeah, the only one aside from Melissa Barrera that I actually like genuinely liked and enjoyed was Rickles. No shade to Angus
Yeah.
Cloud. He performed really well. Really well. He's great at. He acted the role really well, but I just didn't like his character.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't feel like he was necessary after the escape and the drive getaway. I felt like he could have just left with the car and came pick
And
him up later.
there was like a connection with him and the Melissa Barrera's character. Like there was like chemistry there, like romantic chemistry, right? You know what I'm talking about? No, I feel like there was
Mm-mm.
chemistry there, and then he died right after that.
Who wait, you mean Angus Cloud or the other Rickles?
Rickles.
Yeah, Rickles' character, they did have a
That's
little
what
bit
I'm
of
saying. They
chemistry
had
out of nowhere.
yeah, and then right after that, he just died.
They literally have like a split moment where they're like giving each other the fuck me eyes, and then boom, dude's gone. Just fucking wrap that loose end up real fast. So yeah, the only likable characters in the movie are either going through shit the entire time dealing with other idiotic characters, or they're dying immediately. So you get stuck with a bunch of characters you don't care for, you don't like, and I think the worst part of it is that no matter how much shit they went through, no matter how much they wanted you to care for them, at the very end, they either did something stupid that contradicted everything that they were doing to begin with, made you dislike them, died, or they became an evil villain with superpowers. Specifically Frank.
Dude, that was
And
so stupid. I'm
that's
sorry
where this
to
movie
jump.
lost me, dude.
I'm sorry to jump to like the third act, but
There's nowhere else to go.
it's so
You
like
go
you had
from the
like
first to the
three new
third.
vampires, and they had like their whole moment where they're like, ah, I feel so good. It's like a typical like vampire route, and
I,
it's just embarrassing. Like
I don't
you
know.
had Frank, and it was just boring, and then Catherine Newton's character, she changed, and that was like the only like semi likable change because like her character was fine. So when she changed, she pulled it off, and Frank tried
Yeah.
his. Dan Stevens, who played Frank, did his best. But man, like this movie went so long for like I'm saying the same things, but you have to understand. Like I'm frustrated. like
Yeah. No,
I'm
it's it's
frustrated.
it's it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating because like you said, Sammy's transformation was the only one that was actually enjoyable
Yeah,
because there's only two transformations in this movie. There's one of the two is enjoyable.
yeah,
Get out of luck.
yeah.
Rick's
Even like the
character was
Giancarlo, it's like eh.
he was already won by that point. We didn't even see. We just saw
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
his
Like
end.
even when he
Yeah,
was like he pulled it off, I guess.
yeah. And the thing about Sammy's transformation is that Abigail was the best part of that. She did it, and
Yeah,
then Sammy's character's like, oh, Catherine Newton's character is like, what, what's gonna happen to me? Am I gonna turn? And then she's
yeah,
like, maybe.
maybe.
Like,
It's funny
dude, this girl's
because like
evil.
and here's the thing, right? You got two different things. You got she bites Sammy's character and she turns, right? And then when Frank infects
You mean when Giancarlo Esposito infects Frank?
yeah, like he makes him drink his blood.
Yeah.
Like in Dracula, that's how you do the change. Like you drink the
hmm
vampire's blood as well.
hmm
And when Abigail bit Sammy, she didn't need to drink the blood, but maybe that's because she's like the host vampire.
I think it's because like yeah, I think because she's like the OG vampire for that. Like she's
Yeah,
the pinnacle of that, you know.
yeah.
And then it just
That's
starts
how you kill
dropping
a
down.
hive. Is you got to kill the leader. You got to kill the
Exactly.
original. So that makes
Exactly.
sense. But
We saw
still kind of
Supernatural.
a little bit of
You know,
continuity there issues.
we know how to
Yeah,
change people back from vampires. We saw Supernatural.
we saw Supernatural. We
Captain
know how
Newton
to
knows.
we know how to kill monsters.
Excuse me. Captain Newton, give us a call.
Yep,
Be next movie.
I
We'll
got
kill
you.
some vampires for you.
I'm down.
You won't die this one.
No.
You shouldn't have died this one.
Like the
Yeah.
one
Like,
good thing about it is real quick is when Abigail was first exposed to sunlight and her hand blew up. That was cool.
that was
But
sick.
then they
Dude,
overdid it with the whole body.
oh no, yeah.
When like it
Mm,
just bursted and exploded and it gave you your typical like blood splattering moment where
oh,
it's
when
like still.
Sammy gets exploded.
Yeah, so like she
Yeah.
explodes and everybody's like still and blood's on them. That's such a like overused shot nowadays. It's just boring at this point.
Frank's reaction, that was a. And I was like, dude, shut up. Shut up.
Yeah, so I liked when
Dude,
Abigail got her hand blow off and she was screaming. That was great, and
dude,
it looked crazy.
it started growing back
Yeah, yeah,
immediately
yeah, yeah.
after it.
That was cool.
And she was pissed. The one thing I'll say, the only saving grace, the only redeeming aspect of this movie, aside from Melissa Barrera's character and her performance, was Abigail's character and that actress's performance for Abigail.
Yeah,
Because it wasn't overdone, played the role, she left with her money,
she was
did
cute,
the work, left, did the
adorable,
job.
adorable,
Adorable little
vampire,
fucker.
adorable little monster.
No offense to the actress, you are a adorable little fucker. Should have put that on your trailer. But yeah, she did it, dude. She came the okay, biggest pet peeve of this movie aside from everything else I listed was the ending, the final third act, Frank becoming a super vamp, just basically turning heel out of nowhere. It's like, "Oh, we're going to kill these vampires. Fuck them." Turns around to Melissa Barrera, "Shouldn't have fucked with me."
Turn
When?
me,
When did she fuck with him? She
turn
literally
me.
was saving his ass and shit, dude. And then he tries to kill Abigail. He kills John Esposito, blows his ass up with a stake. Um and it's like I would have rather seen the father come and be the big bad at the end than see Frank, the fuckboy detective, turn into a super big bad, you know? Like
Yeah,
God.
yeah. I think like there was a couple of cute moments that like this thing. This movie had moments that were like that had like bad moments, and then they turned it good, but then they turned it bad. Like the whole garlic part. It's like, oh yeah, we need garlic, so she takes a bag of onions. Like that's fucking onions. Like that was funny. And
That was
like,
good.
you know, and but then
Well,
she,
I don't know.
it's like, and she
I don't.
finally gets like the onions. He's like, I don't cook. Yeah, I think she's like she's cooked for all her life. And then she pulls out the garlic and she's holding it. Abigail's like just sniffs it and like I think just throws it away. And then
It's like,
she takes the crucifix and starts stabbing with him with it.
dude, like mini, like a shank,
Yeah,
like prison shank.
yeah, that was hilarious.
That was so
Because
good.
it's like screw your typical monster vampire movie like lore. It's just this isn't it, man. You know that was
It,
funny. Like
it,
everything that involved Abigail was fine, in my
yeah.
opinion.
For me, it felt like one of those classic '80s B movies where you have a monster villain, and you have people just trying to survive, and there's like funny moments here and there. The writing's not great, but you're having a good time watching it. Cause I didn't have that many issues during the watch. I had a
Hmm.
good time. I was watching it. I'm like, this is fun. Like I'm having a good time. Like looking back, like yeah, it's not as good as I thought. It's definitely not 2.5 stars or even 3 stars, but it's in the moment. In the moment, it was fun, and that's like Jacob said. You go from the first half to the first act to the final act like that because there's just not much to cover. There's not much to talk about that happens in this film. It's the characters aren't enjoyable. They're not likable. There's only two that are. That's maybe three at most. Abigail, Rickles, and Melissa Barrera's character, Joey, or Anna, her real name apparently. And that's it. And even the ending when the father shows up, nobody gives. Like, he's supposed to be this big bad scary motherfucker. I didn't give a damn.
Yeah, I was just so done at
Abigail
that
was
point.
Abigail was scarier than that, dude. He looked like like the lead singer of Maroon 5 just got off a fucking meth journey, you know? I wasn't scared of
Out on
him.
the
I was like,
vape.
okay. Thinking moves like Jagger, motherfucker.
The movie felt so long at that point. It was like, all right, well, he's the father showed up, so it's got to be ending soon, right? You know, that was
And
my
he's like,
thought. There
I
was
showed up when you needed me. No, he showed up after the fact, dude. Your
there's
daughter
really a
literally's been.
moment when I was like watching with my family. I'm like, I was literally just out loud like, this movie sucks, like, because it was like. It hits you at a certain point. Like, damn, man, it keeps going. It's just bad.
You know what's funny about that
I
is
mean,
the son has be the son has become the father. Because during the gallows, when we went to see the gallows with
Yeah.
your dad literally was in the front, like the front, like row above the seats, the handicap seats. The first row of raised seats. Jacob's dad, we went to go see the gallows all together. During the movie, his dad just goes, "This movie sucks." Jacob
I don't even
just
remember that.
his history repeating itself. Jacob has
Yeah.
now become the guy screaming in front of the screen. This movie sucks.
Granted, I wasn't at the theater, so that's. I feel like I
Yeah,
still,
the
But
biggest
yeah,
change, the biggest difference of that. The common decency to not say it in public is there. I wouldn't blame you if you did say it though.
yeah. Like, I'm not gonna lie. There's nothing really much else to say about this movie. We're already like
Mm-mm.
51 minutes into this.
Yeah,
So on Letterboxd, what did you give it?
I gave it a 2.5, but I'm probably gonna give it a 2. Just going back. No, I'm giving it. No, fuck it. I'm gonna give it a 2.5 for. Let me see. Let me see. I'm gonna give it 2.5 for. What's her name?
Abigail's
Alicia
character?
Weir. Alicia Weir. I'm gonna give her that half star. I'm gonna give her that.
But the only
Because
reason
she
why
acted
for yeah, go
the
ahead.
fuck out of this movie. Her and Melissa Barrera and Rickles. This is for Rickles. Fuck those two.
Yeah,
This half a star is for them.
the reason
Is
why
for
it's
him.
not
And
a star and a half for me is because of Alicia. I gave it 2
the,
stars.
you said it's not because of the little girl?
If it wasn't for her, this would be a
Oh,
one
it
and a
wasn't
half.
for her. I got you. Got you.
It
She
would
gave her that
be.
extra star.
It would be a. It would give me a half star if she wasn't in this movie. It would be a star and a half for me.
I
Now
agree.
we have
I
a tier
agree.
list here on Based on Cinema. If you watch our other 2 videos, we have a tier list for our horror movies. It goes Salt and Burn It, Straight to the Grave, So Bad It's Good, Put It on a Shirt, Scarred for Life, and Therapy Required. For me, this is second to last, Straight to the Grave.
I thought you guys say salt and burn, so I put the fire emoji.
No, it's not that bad. It is straight to the grave for me. Just bury it, put it in the
I'm gonna
ground 6
go
feet under.
with. I'm gonna go with. I have it open here. I'm gonna put so bad it's good for me.
Okay.
So bad it's good. It's giving me
I think we do.
it's giving me
Yeah.
sleepaway camp vibes. Sleepaway camp vibes.
I think eventually after. Okay, I like Sleepaway Camp way more. Way more.
Because it knows what it is. It didn't take itself too
Yeah.
seriously.
No, it does.
This one took itself seriously.
Yeah, and when Sleepaway Camp did take itself seriously, it was serious.
Yeah.
You know, and the whole ambiance of the family and then being we got to review that movie. That'll be a fun throwback to do.
down.
Yeah, we should do
Down to
Sleepaway
do
Camp and then we should do Tusk.
Okay, deal.
Yeah, we'll
Deal.
talk more about Tusk later as well as Sleepaway Camp. I think we could talk about that later. But I think when we go to reviewing more movies, especially getting into our tier list, when we actually make tier lists, we got to come to a consensus at some point, like because we have to tier it. We got to like come to an agreement, like
Oh, we have to agree on the certain.
yeah. But for right now, I totally understand and respect that.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like straight to the grave. Just bury
Straight
it.
to the grave.
Just
Gotcha.
I wish I could bury the memory of this movie.
Put a stake.
Yeah, I'll put a stake in it. Alicia she was the highlight, and
Going places. Just going places.
yeah, and this movie sucked. Any final
I had fun
thoughts,
with it.
Nick?
I had fun with it.
It
was-
ruined
it was
my
a
fun because
time.
as I kept watching it, it was just Just go ahead.
No, I
I got
respect
yeah.
that. I respect that. For you, I understand completely where you're coming from. I get it. For me, for my watch time when I watched it, it's fun time. Fun time. Do I need a couple drinks to get through it? Yeah. Is that fine? Yeah. Is it Friday the 13th Part 2? No. Is it Sleepaway Camp? No. But it's on par with Sleepaway Camp in terms of how it's so good it's bad. It's so bad it's good.
I
There we go.
disagree. I think
So
this
bad it's
movie
bad.
is straight bad. I think
It's not
Sleepaway
Tusk.
Camp has a lot of rewatchability.
It's not Tusk.
Tusk is a good movie.
Whoa.
I just hate it because it scarred me for life, and
Yeah.
therapy required.
They're required.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a good, that's why it's a good movie, because it was well done, well produced, well directed, well written, casting was great,
Yeah.
and the ending. Yeah, we'll talk
And he
about
was
that movie. We'll talk about that
We'll
movie.
get back to that. We'll get back to that.
But for me,
But
it's
that
Sleepaway Camp is much more rewatchability for me.
I
I
could
would not.
rewatch this.
I couldn't.
I would need like a I would probably take like a shot or two during it.
That would make me want to
Like
watch it less.
I'd be like, okay. Oh, dude, that was sick.
I would rather rewatch Tusk.
Sh- dude, the fight scenes alone would keep me invested because dude,
Nah, they were fine. They were
she was doing
fine.
flips. No, it's the way they put the dances
Yeah,
into
yeah, yeah.
the fight style
Right.
for her character. That alone, I'm like, okay, cool, because you don't really see people dance fighting anymore. Like rarely. Like you mostly see like Jackie Chan type fighting where it's like grabbing someone with a jacket, punching them, pulling them in, or like flipping a gun back on them, breaking through tables, jumping off fucking things. Like John Wick style mixed with Jackie Chan style. Like, because essentially it is Jackie Chan's, I believe, form from cinema. Like he and himself developed it along with Donnie Chen and stuff. Or Donnie, is it Donnie Yen? I might
For
be
that movie?
like just overall like the different styles of
Oh, that you
martial
see
arts
in
that
cinema.
have come out that you see now in cinema.
Yeah, yeah.
The forefathers of that are like Jackie Chan, I think Donnie Yen, or
Okay.
Donnie Yen, and sorry if I'm mispronouncing, and you know all of that mixed together, John Wick, and it's rare to see like a dance fight style nowadays. You rarely ever like every once in a while, blue moon, you'll see someone do some like, oh, I'm doing like a backflip, and then they like, kick you in the face. For Abigail, dude, it was all ballet inspired fighting style, like
Mm.
fighting moves. And for that alone, I'm like,
Yeah, every
give me a couple shots during this movie. I'll treat this like SmackDown. Let's go.
yeah, I
In the
just
left
think
corner, we got Abigail. Weighing
everything that Alicia did
107 pounds.
everything Alicia did was great. But
She killed
that
him.
was the only saving grace for me, and that's the thing. I don't like the movie so much that I couldn't even watch it for her, and it's
No, I
sad.
got you. I
But
got
I'm
you,
looking
dude.
forward to seeing what she does. Let us know what you think about the movie in the comments below. Let us know where you would put it on our tier list, what you rate it. Give us some ideas of what you want us to review.
Yeah, leave some suggestions down below because we've been doing horror lately, but we could also mix it up if you guys
No,
want.
we're gonna mix it up because we have to. We got two playlists. We got the horror, and we have the typical based on cinema, which we'll get into. It's just
Yeah.
that there's a lot of horror movies dropping that are worth talking about, and you gotta talk about the bad ones every once in a while. And
Mm-hmm.
don't worry, we'll get to some classic throwbacks, and we'll get to some modern blockbusters. I mean, like I said, once
Oh,
what's that with the Megalopolis? Once that comes out, we're doing that.
Megalopolis.
Yeah,
We're
Nosferatu.
also gonna be doing 25th anniversary of Brokeback Mountain on here, so you guys keep an eye out. I'm just kidding. It's not gonna have a 25th anniversary. It hasn't been out that long.
Let us know what you think. Like, subscribe. It'll help us out immensely. And
Yep.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Nick.
This is Based on Cinema. You
She's
guys have a
based
great
on
day.
cinema.
Have a great day.
Have a great one.